Hey guys, it's Lindsay from Follow the Rules, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make these beautiful agate slice cookies. To make these cookies, you'll need some sugar cookie dough, royal icing, gel or powdered food coloring, clear extract or alcohol, food-safe paint brushes, and gold edible paint or luster dust. First, you have to roll out your cookie dough. I start by rolling out my cookie dough around 1/4 of an inch thick, and then I use a round cookie cutter to just cut simple rounds. To make those kind of rough edges, I just peel off the edges of the cookie, making it whatever shape I want. I do smooth it out with my fingertip, but basically just leaving them very rough and rock-like. Once those have baked and cooled, it's time to ice the cookies. Instead of piping the icing on top of the cookie, I'm actually dipping the cookie into flood consistency royal icing. That just helps the icing get into all those little nooks and crannies around that rough edge that we created by tearing the edge of the cookie. For each of the agate slice cookies, I'm going to use a similar shade of color. So in this case, I'm going to use different shades of purple to create the different layers of the agate slice. To create the paint, I just put some gel food coloring in a little dish, and then I add my clear alcohol. In this case, I'm using vodka. You can use gin or rum, or even just a clear extract like almond extract. I start by painting the center of the agate slice first. In this case, I'm painting the center of this amethyst colored agate slice, a very deep purple, and I'm outlining it in an even darker shade of purple. You'll notice if you look at agate slices that they contain concentric rings of different color of stone, and around each ring there's almost like a very faint dark line around each of those rings. So to capture that in these cookies, I'm going to paint different layers of colors to create those concentric rings, and then around each of those I'm going to paint a very faint line, a very thin line of a darker shade of that color. So you can see as I go through painting this agate slice, I'm using different shades and different tones of the purples. Some are very dark and pigmented, some are going to be very light. I'm also varying the size of each of those rings of stone, so some are going to be very thin and some are going to be very thick. It also helps to kind of add some dimension and make it look more like stone if you add some varying tones and shades within each ring. So you'll see in the one that I just painted that some areas of that purple are a little bit darker than others. I'm not only using different colors of paint, I'm also using different paint brushes to get different effects. So for the most part, I use a pretty standard sized brush to paint each of the rings. Then to go outside of the ring, I use a very thin pointed brush. I also use a flat brush to create a feathered effect if I'm trying to blend colors together or blend a dark color into the plain white background. Just for reference, I'm using a Wilton brand paintbrush or paintbrush set for these cookies. I purchased it at my local craft store. It comes in a set of 5, and all of the brushes I'm using today are in that set. I will link those brushes down in the description bar if you want to purchase them for yourself. To finish off these cookies and make them look more like agate slices, or at least the agate slice coasters you can buy at Anthropologie, I'm painting some edible gold paint around the edge of the cookie. And in this case, I'm painting the actual cookie and not the icing. to make it look like a rock that has just been sliced open. I also painted some layers of gold, very thin layers of gold, in between some of the layers of color in the agate slice to make it look like the gold had just been woven through the agate. Here is another version of an agate cookie that I made using shades of blue. So I start with a dark layer of blue, almost a sapphire blue, and then in the same technique, I outlined and just did layers of different shades of blue and turquoise until it looked like a beautiful turquoise agate slice. So there you have it, agate slice cookies. They are beautiful and surprisingly easy to make. I will link all of the products I use down in the description bar as well as my favorite recipes. Thanks for watching.